Going to discuss about the chapter motion, that is the first chapter of physics of class 9. मोशन, जहां तक कि बेटे हमें सबको पता है कि मोशन का मतलब होता है कोई भी चीज जो मूविंग है, यानी अगर कोई ऑब्जेक्ट फॉर एग्जांपल ए पॉइंट पर है और अगर वो यहां से मूव कर कर बी पॉइंट पर आता है तो हम कहते हैं कि ये ऑब्जेक्ट मोशन में है, और अगर वो ए पर ही स्टॉप रहता है तो हम कहेंगे वो रेस्ट में है। तो दो टर्म्स हैं यहाँ पर, रेस्ट एंड मोशन। मोशन के अंदर, इस चैप्टर के अंदर हम कई टॉपिक्स को स्टडी करने वाले हैं, दैट इज द यूनिफॉर्म मोशन, नॉन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन, ग्राफ्स रिलेटेड टू मोशन एंड द न्यूमेरिकल पोर्शन ऑफ मोशन। ठीक है, लेट अस स्टार्ट विद डिस्टेंस एंड डिस्प्लेसमेंट। डिस्टेंस एंड displacement. Distance is basically the total length of the path covered, irrespective of the path covered. For example, if an object moves from O to A 20 meters and then A to B 30 meters, then B to C again 20 meter, and if it is a rectangular path, then the distance covered from O to C, that will be 20 plus 30 plus 20 when we move along this direction. But when we consider displacement, okay, it is the shortest straight line path between the initial and final position. That means if we have to calculate the displacement from O to C, so we will consider only this distance, that is only 30 meter. This is the displacement. That's it. All the physical quantities can be divided into two types, that is the scalar and vector quantities. Okay. Scalar quantities are those quantities which can be described by their magnitude alone. But for vector quantities, they can be described by their magnitude as well as direction. For example, distance is a scalar quantity as we have not considered the direction in distance, and displacement is a vector quantity. So many examples are there, like speed. Speed is a scalar quantity, but velocity is a vector quantity. In the same way, mass is a scalar quantity, whereas weight is a vector quantity. All the vector quantities need direction for their description, magnitude as well as the direction. Hello students, now we are going to do about the equation of motion. That is the most important part of the numerical of this chapter. This part is very beneficial for those students who opt for science. Let's start with, there are three equations of motion. Number one, V equals to U plus AT. Number two, S equals to UT plus half AT square, and V square equals to U square plus 2AS. These three equations are very helpful for calculating all the numerical portions of this chapter. In these equations, what does these symbols represent? Let's see. First of all, U. U represent the initial velocity of an object or a body. In ninth, we very frequently use the words object and body. Okay. Now, V stands for final velocity. In the same way, small t, it stands for time. A it is acceleration. S, this is the distance. Okay, and we have to one thing we have to keep in mind always, that we have to use their SI units. For example, the SI unit of initial velocity, that is meter per second. Same is with final velocity, meter per second. For time, it is seconds. For acceleration, it is meter per second square. For distance, it is always in meter. That means if in the exam or in the question, if they give you other units, for example, in place of meter per second, if they give you kilometer per hour, so first of all, you have to convert that kilometer per hour into meter per second. Then you have to apply the formula and calculate the sum. In the same way, if the time is given in minutes or in hours, so first of all, you have to convert it into seconds. Only then you have to apply the formula, and in that case, you will get the full marks. Otherwise, teacher will deduct marks for these conversions.
2, 1.
Thank you, students. We will again meet with some new videos about some more important topics. Thank you.